Hi and welcome to video 16, me learning how to use the Octatrack Mk.II and showing you what I'm doing it as I do it. And in my last video I was talking about the Crossfader, and somebody pointed out something to me on my YouTube channel that made me feel a bit stupid really, because I completely missed it and it was right under my nose, and that's the fact that you can mute what the A and the B buttons do just by holding function and mute. See, so those are now muted. So just to show you that, in this example here I've got the B button assigned to the balance on this kick drum. So if I move the crossfader over, you should hear the kick drum move over to the right speaker. Like that. Move it back, this is both. Now if I hold function and mute on the B, now that's not doing anything. That's just a really simple thing that I missed, and I'd like to thank that person for pointing it out to me. So you can mute what the A and the B buttons are doing. So if it's not lit, then it's not doing anything. Right, so that's a little aside, because today's lesson is all about scratching. And I've watched a few videos on this. To be honest, scratching is just about the hardest thing I've attempted on the Octatrack. Not that it's hard to set up, but I find it very hard to actually do. And I'm a musician of many, many years experience. I like to think I've got a pretty good sense of timing. To be honest, you're better off using something like this, a modern kind of DJ deck with the platters that you can do the scratching on. But never mind. I'm going to show you how you set it up and how you do it on the Octatrack Mk.II. On this track 5, I've got this bit of speech that I did. I call it ABBA Scratch, because what I did was I just recorded the names of a few ABBA songs as a bit of speech. I'll just play that to you. Chiquitita, Dancing Queen. Just that little bit there, that's all we're going to need. And this is what we're going to do our scratching on. The thing to do is to make sure that the trigs are playing slot. So if I hold function and the up arrow, you can see I'm on slot, so that's fine. So if I turn the record light off, I've got these trigs lit up. Chiquitita, Dancing Queen. That's the trig that's launching that particular bit of speech. So I'm not playing the sequence, I'm literally just launching that sample. Chiquitita, Dancing Queen. Now if I do it with the AED up, I can see what I'm doing. Chiquitita, Dancing Queen. And that's fine. Now on the source page of this sample, go to that, you can see that button A of the crossfader has got plus 63, that's the normal forward playback mode, and the B button has got minus 64. So if I move the crossfader over and launch the sample, the sample plays backwards, and that is key to the setup here. So what is actually happening here? If you press the trig with the crossfader in the A position and leave it there, the playback's normal. Chiquitita, Dancing Queen. If you press the trig with the crossfader in the B position, the playback is reversed, but normal apart from that. With the crossfader in the A position, if I launch the clip, launch the sample, and gradually move the crossfader over, you'll see what happens. Chiquitita. It slows down and then reaches a point where it starts to reverse. Comes back to the normal speed there. So that's how we get the scrubbing across the sample to get the scratching. Once you reach the stopped crossover point in either direction, the sample will play in the other direction, providing the audio scrubbing you need for the scratch effect. That's the idea. I've changed the EQ a bit. On the DJ equalizer, you can see I've turned a few things up there. So you need a little bit of a harsher sound so it cuts through. If it's a bit too bland and a bit too mellow, it doesn't work very well. And I put a little bit of compression on it as well. So that's the setup. I've also got this just simple drum beat here. just to play it against, but we won't worry about that for the moment. So what we're going to try and do here first of all is scratch the word queen, dancing queen. Let's go to the AED and let's see where the word queen is in our sample. Chiquitita, dancing queen. Okay, so it's just about here where that smaller little bit of the sample is. It's the one but last kind of transient. Chiquitita, dancing queen. Now, this is where the problem comes because you've got to get the timing absolutely spot on. You've got to wait for the word queen to go by and then move the crossfader over to the B and then back quickly. So you go B-A, B-A, end in the A position so that the sample can continue the right way around, not reversed. Chiquitita, dancing queen. Now, that's how to do it. Now, you've got to wait for the front of the word to go past. If you do it on the qu of queen, it's too early. And if the whole word of queen has gone past, then you're too late. So it's a really tricky thing to get spot on. Do it once more. Chiquitita, dancing queen. So when you do the scratching, try moving the crossfader all the way over to the B and back, like that, or just a little bit less than that. Let's try a couple of variations. Chiquitita, dancing queen. So that's all the way. Chiquitita, dancing queen. A little bit less there, you see? Let's try and do the word dancing now. Let's identify where that is on the sample. Chiquitita, dancing queen. So dancing is this one right in the middle here, so let's try that one. Chiquitita, dancing queen. Chiquitita, dancing queen. It's quite fun to do, but you'll never know how many hundreds of times I tried this until I kind of got the idea of it. It's still a work in progress. I know some people on the internet are absolutely brilliant at this, but that does give you an idea of how to do it. You basically need a spoken sample. It needs to be quite edgy in sound so it cuts through. On the source page, you set the A button. I mean, you don't have to set the A button, you can just leave it as it is, but I've set it so you can see it, to +63 and the B to -64. So plus, minus, forward, reverse. And then it's much easier to have the sample up so you can see when you're reaching the part that you want to scratch. Now, the next thing is, can I do it with the drum beat on? Chiquitita, dancing queen. Chiquitita, dancing queen. Chiquitita, dancing queen. Try queen. Chiquitita, dancing queen. So, yeah, not brilliant, but you get the idea. But it's a lot of fun to do, and I've driven my wife absolutely insane with this over the weekend. In fact, I thought I'd got my speakers muted, and I hadn't, and she came in and very politely said, "Oh, do you mind if I shut your door?" Poor girl, I felt really sorry for her. So when you're doing this, I strongly suggest you do it on headphones, otherwise you will drive people nuts with it. You can do lots of other things, like you can chop the sample up and have it on lots of different trigs and launch different trigs and try and scratch those. That's a bit beyond me at the moment, but at least you can see how it's done and what good fun it is. So I hope you enjoyed this short video. If you've got some benefit from today, please give the video a like and consider subscribing to my channel. You can make a donation to me here on YouTube if you're feeling generous, or on my website, which is www.daddylonglegs.com. Thanks for watching, and you'll see me in my next video.